when I was 17, went to live in the Spanish islands. And there I bumped into house music in clubs in Tenerife. And there I just got the bug of house music. I mean, like anybody in front on the dance floor, I wanted to learn to DJ immediately. The music just took me to another planet. Never heard anything like it. I was into just some bullshit before I went to live in Spain, and first I thought the music was horrible. But after smoking a few spliffs, etc., I just got very interested in learning the technique of DJing and how everyone was dancing, and it just came from there. And then came back in the summer of love, and 1988 acid house scene was in full action. So I ended up organising raves and stuff up until 1990 when I bought my first set of decks and I learned to DJ. That was and then I guess the bug of making people dance and playing the music I love. I've always liked playing to people the music I like personally and showing them what I like and what I feel to be good music. And this, I think, is what keeps me going. It's like I go out a lot and I feel I'm not satisfied with what I listen to many times. Going and putting on the music which I feel to be good is massively important to me, because when I go out, I'm very rarely very happy. I mean, sometimes I get mind blown, but and it's these moments when you get mind blown, you're on the dance floor and there's a really good DJ on that absolutely are precious, but it doesn't happen so much. So that's what keeps me going, is the fact to try and give people the music I like, what I feel to be good music in my taste and my story,
He's dancing loose.
Basically, in the early 90s, the pay parties or the clubs were very expensive. So my friends decided that they would put on their own parties, which were like half the price or a third of the price of what the entrance into these pay parties were. At the time, it was like £20 or over £10 to go into a club. And many people who were poorer or from the street or squatters and people on social benefits and stuff couldn't afford to pay the big money to go to the parties. So we put on the parties for people to be able to go out and party at a low cost with cheap drinks and free entrance if they couldn't afford it, or £5 entrance in if they could. And also the fact that the licensing hours stopped at like 3 a.m. in many clubs, and maybe if you were lucky 6 a.m. At the time in Britain, it was just ridiculous. I mean, you had to be at an illegal event to party until lunchtime. So the reasons are quite obvious. It's like no one wants to stop partying at 2 a.m. and go back to someone's house and start sniffing drugs. So that's it. Yeah, that's and then I guess it became more because of the love for the music and the use of psychedelics. The mission was on. So everyone was like going out to free festivals and realizing on psychedelics that there was more to life than money and the rat race, and that there was love and for humanity and for the nature and all this stuff. When they were out partying under the stars or in the sunshine at festivals, meeting all sorts of people from different walks of life who actually had much more in common to them than they thought. So it drove people to continue and carry on the mission to bring this into Europe, into the world, the free party scene, the festival scene, and make it spread, which it has. Now hundreds of thousands of people over Europe are doing this, going out partying under the stars or in warehouses, or they were before the police went mad and said that's enough of this. Can't be letting this happen,
The music ain't over till the people are gone.
just happened naturally. You know, one or two people decided they wanted to buy a sound system or put on parties. And once you do this and there's the free essence of anyone can join and be with us, and if you can participate and everyone likes you, I guess, didn't even have to like you. It's just like if you were motivated to keep going with the collective and didn't want to take any money personally or anything financial gain from this, and you get on with everyone, then you could become part of the crew, sort of thing. So the foundation, it just happened automatically. You know, when you put on something and it's good, you have a good energy, then people surround you and they become part of the crew. And it just happens with a small group of friends, but this soon grew outside of that group of friends. I think there was no plan at the beginning. It just happened, you know. I mean, I found them because Simon, Crystal Distortion, now took me to a warehouse party, and I'd been organising 2 years before, and I actually knew some people from the crew, but when I turned up and went to this party, I was like, wow, this is just amazing. I didn't think it was possible to do this anymore. And I stayed until Monday morning, you know, and then the next week I went to another one, and then another one, then another one. Eventually I was like, well, anything you want, let me know. And sure enough, 2 days later, Joe was on the phone. Can you come around and pick up these decks, please, and take them over to there and give us a hand? I was like, sure, man. And then within a month, I'd left home and joined the circus, you know, and that's pretty much what happened to all of us in our own way. We all have our own story from before, but something would just make you just pick up your stuff, put your clothes in your car and disappear and off with the crew, you know, and that's what happened to me. Yeah, I think I was young and not really realising what was happening at the time. It was just like, okay, let's do this. Let's put on the first technical. It was like, so we had this office we could use from Polygram at the time because we'd had this record contract because of the big festival in England where everyone got arrested and taken to court. We were given a record label deal, and yeah, we had the possibility of using the offices to make photocopies and giving out flyers and their postal services and stuff to post to our mailing lists. So I was only like 20 or something, you know. I just think we were a young, very much motivated, off our nuts and saying, yeah, let's just put on a party and do it. And it became like a mission to take over the world, very much so. And people fed into it, you know, and they're still doing it now. So it was, looking back on it, we did not know what we were doing at the time, but it had a massive effect on people. And I very much enjoyed myself, you know. So it was a massively positive and life-changing experience. I'm a DJ since 1990, and well, I picked this up in the Spanish islands, like I said to you already. I think quite simply that I wouldn't want to do anything else. I see a lot of people suffering, stressed in life, doing jobs they don't like, and I guess I got put through quite stressful things and seeing stressful things when I was a kid, and I don't want to be struggling to be happy in a normal job, or fighting for money or fighting for survival, having to pay massive rent in big houses, or fighting to have a nice car, paying bank loans, all this stuff. So I'm living a very simple, basic life. I do my music, and my life's pretty stress-free, you know. I don't want the capitalist machine to eat me up. And I will just carry on doing this for that reason. I love the music, of course. It's how I've learned to survive. And that's it. You know, I'm not going to participate in this society which is destroying the planet. And by playing music and putting my energy across, it's the best way for me to go through life. You know, I don't want to be rich. Don't want to be particularly famous. I just need to survive, get through, and with my love for the music, I can do that. You know, I don't need much. Very simple, isn't it? Love for the music and love for what I'm doing, and the want to blow people's minds or make them happy or be able to show them different emotions is powerful. You know, when you're on the decks and you're putting across the musical energy, you're giving them your vibe, you're teaching them your way of thinking, if you like. Everything is coming through you, you know, such as when you're playing live or DJing, your choice of tracks when you're in the mix, 2 or 3 decks, makes your own music, makes your own sound, playing with the frequencies, you're channeling, I guess, the energy coming through you to the people. You know, this can work sometimes, sometimes it can't, sometimes it doesn't. I mean, you know, it very much depends on how you feel. It's important to try and stay happy and keep doing it for the love. Otherwise, you just become commercial. You know, you look at these big people playing in stadiums, playing hugely commercial music to people. It's a difficult subject. I'm always looking for music I've never heard before. Things that are coming from the psychedelic or from the cosmos. And when I'm listening for tunes, even though there might be a groove or a signature, if you like, I'm trying to find stuff which people have never heard, that sets music apart from other music. You know, I don't want to play music which is in any genre particularly. I play many genres, and within each genre I'll find something unique or special within that genre, or a group of artists or labels within that genre to try and put across like a freestyle set of tunes. Could be from techno, could be from minimal, could be from tech house or house even, or even breakbeats or stuff which is offbeat. The texture of the music would need to be spaced out or psychedelic, I guess. And when if I listen to a piece of music which I'm thinking, oh wow, now that's original, then I buy it and I will play it. If I'm hearing music I'm going, oh, that's like the 10 other tunes I just heard, I won't buy it. You know, it doesn't matter if production's amazing. I'm looking for stuff which is different from anything I've ever heard, quite simply. And if it's different, then I will hook onto it and buy it. And if I'm not sure if I like it, I'll get used to it. You know, but it would be not sure if I like it because it's so out there or weird that it's like, okay, I don't know what that is, but it's fucking amazing. So yeah, I'll pick it up, you know, and try and use it at some point. For me, it's the beats and the frequencies and the mix of and the layering of the stuff, which enables me to make a story every time, which is unique. And I never play the same set twice, ever. I never go through the same set of records or from one party to another. Every single time I work for hours beforehand on the set, or I will just throw down a load of tracks willy-nilly, like 100 tracks onto a collection, and then just improvise out of that 100 tracks. So I'm putting across something in the moment which is completely unique. I'll almost close my eyes, turn the dial, press go on the track, and then do my best to make them mix together. To make some sort of story, you know, take them on a travel into the unknown. That's what keeps me going. I'm here because of the music, because I'm able to go out and listen to stuff that I appreciate, rather than, I mean, I've got a very big thing. I mean, whereas in the 90s and early 2000s, a little bit of the early 2000s, I was very much into hardcore, speedy, fast music, also the slow stuff, but very much hardcore. And since then, I got sick of that. I don't like the fast stuff anymore, the techno K. I'm into techno and house and minimal and things. So here, this is the mecca of this sort of style of music, and there's a lot of musicians are here. I can go out and look on Resident Advisor and see the DJs that I respect playing every single week in different clubs, if I'm not DJing myself somewhere else. And I'm able to fill my evenings from Wednesday until Monday morning listening to relatively decent music. Yeah, just do something. Don't follow the crew. You want to stick out from the others, then don't just, okay, that seems to be trendy, I'm going to do this. You know, there's a lot of people who are just like, okay, I want to be a DJ. Tech house will do. That's the trendy music, for example, or minimal will do, or techno will do, and they'll just get the top producers or whatever, and then just fall into this style and make stuff the same with the others. And that's why the scene is stagnating, because everyone's copying each other. Don't copy. Do your own thing. Do your own thing. You must. Otherwise, you're going to go nowhere. You're just going to fall into the sea of other people who all do the same thing, and into the reason why a lot of the club scene internationally, everywhere, not just here, is stagnated, because everyone's just doing the same boring thing, and it is rubbish, you know. This happens also in the underground movement as well. There's a lot of people just doing the same thing. In the hard music angle of things, it could be hardcore or Frenchcore or gabba, any of these things. It happens all over the musical spectrum. People who are going into one musical genre and only playing this because it fits with the group of people they know. They're not being unique. They're not doing their own thing. You'll see that everyone who makes it really, at the end of the day, does do their own thing. You know.
The music ain't over till the people are gone.